All right, this is Friday Flow with Ellen. This is our last one of the year. Crazy. And we are going to start with our foam roller. So we're going to start with some stretches. So go ahead and come on down. We'll find sort of like a child's pose position. And you can do this with a rolled up blanket if you don't have a foam roller or with a pillow. So we're going to go ahead and place our hands right on top of that foam roller. What I would like you all to do is sort of open your palms up so that you're rotating those shoulders open. Okay, so you're gonna take an inhale here. With the roller, you can move it. If you have a blanket or pillow, you might not be able to incorporate some movement into the stretch, but that's okay. Take an inhale here, and as you exhale, you're gonna sort of push that roller or pillow away from you, and you're gonna take your head in between your arms. We're going to take a couple breaths here in this child's pose. So a couple deep breaths, holding this child's pose. If you're just hopping on, welcome, thanks for joining. Grab your foam roller or rolled up blanket or pillow. And your next inhale, you're going to roll back up or sort of shift your weight back up if you're using a pillow or a blanket. And as you exhale, you're going to move that roller away from you and lower back down. So we're going to do this a couple times. So inhale, we lift up, and exhale, we lower. So our hips stay low the whole time. It's really just our upper body that's moving here. Inhale up and exhale, moving that roller away from you. So a couple more, inhale and exhale. Big inhale and exhale. So we'll do this one more time. So last big one here, inhale and exhale, and just hold on to this nice child's pose position. Head in between those arms, taking a few breaths here. Finding a little extra space in the body with your exhales this morning. And then slowly lift yourself up. And now we're going to lay on top of our foam roller, blanket, pillow, whatever you have. So you're going to line it up this way. So it's lengthwise on your mat or on your space. You're going to sit right on the edge or on the bottom part of the foam roller. So you want to make sure that your spine is fully supported on that roller or pillow. And actually, it's a lot softer if you're using pillows, right? So a little bit harder with the foam roller, but slowly make your way down. Take your time here. Again, making sure that your spine and also that your head is supported on your foam roller. So hold that there. And we'll first start by opening up our shoulders, sequences we've done before. So you're going to lift your arms off the floor. You're going to bring your palms together to face one another. Let's keep our feet planted on the floor, nice and wide, about hip distance for stability. So arms are up. Inhale here, and as we exhale, you're going to open those arms out to make the letter T. Ooh, I feel that stretch in my shoulders already. They are sore. And let's do that again. Inhale and exhale. So you can sort of think of this as almost like a doorway stretch, but with your arms straight. So allowing those arms to fall slightly below that roller because you were elevated, and letting gravity push down and open up a little bit. Inhale and exhale. All right, so you're gonna do one more, and then you're just gonna hold those arms there. So just feel that stretch in those shoulders. Feel free to even close your eyes here if you'd like. And again, stretching might be a little bit uncomfortable, and that is completely normal. You don't want it to be painful, but if it's just a little uncomfortable, you know you're doing it right. All right, now let's slowly bring those arms, slide them down to our sides. So we're gonna do one other one for those shoulders. So this time our palms are facing down. We're gonna keep those arms straight. And as we inhale, we're gonna reach those arms all the way overhead. So this is gonna be a little bit harder than the T. Making the letter Y with our arms all the way overhead. You wanna try to get the back of your hands to touch the floor. Maybe it's just your fingertips. Maybe they don't touch at all. All just depends on how your shoulders are feeling this morning. And then slowly bring them back down. So again, inhale and exhale here, moving those arms overhead. And if you feel like the overhead position is just too much on your neck or shoulders this morning, you just come back to that T. So that overhead should feel a little bit harder. Definitely feeling it here. So let's do it about 2 more times. But after you do a couple reps of these, your shoulders should start to loosen. And so hopefully you're able to let those fingertips or hands relax on the floor above you. So our last one, we're going to hold on to it for a couple breaths. Holding this here. You can even bend your elbows a little bit if you need to. And then slowly, slowly bring those arms back up. And then you're going to wrap your arms around and give yourself a nice hug. Just hugging yourself here and allowing those shoulders to relax. Okay, so we'll just move on to the hips. So we're going to take our hands down onto the floor. And we're going to go ahead and keep our arms down so we have a little bit of stability. So with the hips, we really just do one movement on this foam roller, and then we'll switch up our position. So feet are nice and wide, and you're just gonna simply extend your legs straight out, but it's gonna feel a little weird at first. You might feel a little wobbly. So again, keeping those arms out and keeping your legs wide too, your feet wide, and then just go ahead and extend your legs straight. Feel that stretch in those hips. As the legs sort of fall over the edge of that foam roller or your pillow, fort, or rolled up blanket that you have. And just take a few breaths here. So sort of imagine you're seated on the edge of a table and you're allowing your legs to drop off the edge. And then very slowly bend your knees, bring your feet back up. And so again, that may have been a little bit uncomfortable if your hips are feeling extra tight this morning. So now we're going to just combine upper and lower body. So you can do the T or the Y overhead. So if you'd like. And this one I call X marks the spot, because we're going to extend our legs and our arms and just hold for a couple of breaths. So again, it's up to you. Maybe the legs out was a little too much on your low back. So maybe you're just doing the arms. But really what we're doing is stretching out the entire front side of our body. Hold it there, which is generally for most of the day sort of flexed forward in a position when we're seated. So just getting a big stretch in the front side of the body. A couple more breaths. And of course, this can be done just flat on the mat as well, but you do get an extra stretch if you're slightly elevated on that roller or some pillows. So a couple more breaths. Good. And then very slowly start to bend your elbows, bend your feet, or bend your knees and place your feet onto the floor. Good. So hang out back in that starting position for just a breath or two. And then we're just going to gently slide off our roller or blanket. So gently slide off. All right, so we're going to do one more sort of stretch with this foam roller. So you're down on your back, so foam roller or pillow, right? Down on your back. We're going to bend those knees. We're going to come into a supported bridge, actually. So you're going to lift those hips up. You're going to slide that roller or your pillow right underneath your hips. So we're just going to hold right here. So nice supportive bridge. You can stay right here the entire time. We'll add on a couple of different layers. Just allows our hip flexors to get a chance to sort of breathe and rest while still getting a nice stretch through those hips. And then if you'd like to add a little bit more, we're going to go ahead and lift both legs off the floor. So all of our weight is on that roller or on that pillow. And now extend those legs straight up. You can go ahead and circle those ankles and wiggle your toes. So you want to try to start feeling a little more heat in the body before we really get going into our flow practice. So you can bend and straighten those legs a couple times, sort of pump them. Wiggle your toes, circle your ankles, and then we're sort of in that like legs up the wall pose, almost like an inversion. This also gives your feet a little bit of a break, not having all of your weight on them. Then go ahead and bend the knees. So we're going to hug our knees close to our chest, not all the way in. We want to make sure we keep a sort of a flat back here. We're just going to lower one leg at a time. So we'll start with that right leg. And we're just going to gently drop your right foot onto the floor and keep that knee bent. So you're going to try and make contact with the floor of that right foot. So maybe you first start, it's just the toe, and then maybe the foot becomes flat. Keeping that other knee lifted. So right now, just my toes are reaching. Can't quite reach my heel down. My hips are still stretching out a little bit. But if you'd like a little bit more, you can extend your leg. So you straighten that leg. Allow it to lower. Maybe you get your heel to touch the floor. So again, just getting that stretch, sort of that feeling that your legs are falling off the edge of the bed. But let's also be mindful of our core. So go ahead and start to stitch that rib cage together. Want to make sure we don't have a big arch in our back while we have one leg lowered. So still try to keep that back flat. And then we'll go ahead and bring that knee back in. We'll just do the same thing on the other side. All right. So same thing, left foot. Keep the knee bent to start. And just lower that foot to the floor. Now on this side, this is my tighter hip. I'm not even touching the floor, not yet. But wait a couple more breaths and you'll start to eventually feel that hip start to open up and get a little more stretched out. If you're ready to go right into it, you can straighten that leg and just let it drop to the floor, right? Starting to tuck those hips under, turn on those core muscles. Now my toe can sort of touch the floor. Just allowing gravity to do its job here. So about 2 more breaths. And then very, very slowly, we're going to bring that knee back into the chest. We're going to lower both feet onto the floor. We'll come out of this position by lifting those hips up a little bit higher and then moving that roller or pillow away from us and gently lower those hips down. So let's move our roller out of the way. You're going to hug those knees into your chest, rock side to side. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit looser. Just rock side to side. We're going to roll over to one side. Gently press yourself up. And let's go ahead and find a nice tabletop position for a cat-cow. And then we're going to really get moving and start to build some heat in the body. So cat-cow with hands under your shoulders, knees under your hips. And as you inhale, you're going to drop your belly to the floor, lift your chest. And then exhale, pull your chin into your chest. So we're going to go through this a couple of times and really at your own pace. So keep moving I know we have a couple of new people in class this morning, so just wanted to welcome everyone that maybe hopped on a little bit later and before I did my introduction. So keep doing your cat-cow. This practice, you really just go at your own pace. I'm gonna amp it up a little bit today. It is our last one for the next 2 weeks. But again, always just take everything at your own pace, intensity. This is your time to work out. So listen to your body. One more cat-cow. Let's bring those knees nice and wide. Bring the toes together and sit back into that nice child's pose. Bringing your forehead to the mat here. This is a great place to take a break or a breather during class. Now we start to build that heat. So let's go ahead and come on up. We're gonna tuck our toes, move our hands towards the front of that mat. Once you spread your fingers and press deep into the mat here, making sure that the weight is equally distributed throughout all 10 fingers. Take an inhale here. Exhale, lift up and find a nice downward facing dog. Let's walk our dog. So pedal out those heels. Take a few moments to really get into this down dog position. This can also be done with your knees on the floor and simply pressing your hips back. So hold that down dog. I'm just gonna come check on everyone. In your down dog, think about lifting your hips up and pressing your chest towards your thighs. And relax your head. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. Excellent. Yeah, maybe move your hips around a little bit. About 2 more breaths. Very good. All right, and then your next inhale, we're gonna bend those knees. We're gonna slowly walk those feet up to our hands. So we're gonna come into a nice forward fold position. Take a breath here. A nice stretch for that back, always relaxing your head in this forward fold. And then we're gonna ground those feet into the floor. We're gonna come up to standing, lift our arms up. Nice big deep breath. Those palms come together at the top. We take our gaze up there, hands come together, we lower them down to heart center. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get started right away. Inhale, let's lift up, big deep breath. Exhale, you're gonna float it down. So leaning forward or leading with your chest here. Inhale, we find a nice flat back. So our hands come to our knees or our shins and we press through our heels and our hips. You squeeze your shoulder blades together to have a nice flat back. And then exhale, we come down. So let's go ahead and step our feet back and find a downward facing dog. Inhale, we're gonna come forward to a nice strong plank. You're gonna tuck those hips under, so you're engaging your core. Other options here are knees on the floor, or maybe you're on your forearms. So go ahead and pull those shoulder blades down and away from your ears. Hold this, couple more breaths. I'm gonna really turn on those core muscles. If your knees are off the floor, straighten your legs and press through your heels. One more breath. Exhale, knees and chest lower. Elbows go straight back. You want to squeeze your elbows as we lift up. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, we lower. Go ahead and retuck those toes. Inhale and exhale, downward facing dog. Great. Let's do that one more time through. Inhale, find your plank. Stack the shoulders right on top of those wrists. Exhale, knees and chest lower down. All the way down, flatten those feet. Inhale, we lift. Shoulders down and back for baby cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes. Come all the way up and back into down dog. So you should already be feeling warmer here. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk them back up to your hands. Maybe you take your hands off the floor to come up to the top. Forward fold. Inhale, come up to standing. Reach those arms all the way up. Bring those palms together as we exhale and lower them down to heart center. Inhale, let's lift up. Big deep breath. Exhale, float it down. So I'm moving at sort of a moderate pace, but feel free to scale back and go a little slower. Inhale, lift up halfway, or feel free to pick up the pace and go a little bit faster. So flat back here, and then exhale, let's come down. So let's start with our right leg. We'll step back to a warrior one. Medium step back, glue your heel into the floor, lift your chest, arms reach up, inhale, and exhale, we hold. So our front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Hold here. So with all these poses, we want to make sure we're stitching that rib cage together, tucking those hips under, really making sure that our core is turned on and working here. So one more breath in this warrior one. Inhale, we're going to straighten that front leg. Exhale, we're going to let those arms float down. So our legs are sort of making that triangle position. We're going to go into our triangle pose. Inhale, reach forward, take those hips to the opposite direction. And remember that this twist comes from our waist, our shoulders, our chest. So exhale, that front arm comes down to just the knee to start. Take that back hand, just place it on your hip. Take an inhale and then exhale, really rotate and twist up towards the ceiling here. So we really started from the base last week, and we really just focused on twisting from the waist in this triangle pose. If you want a little bit more, maybe that front arm draws a little bit closer down to your ankle. And then when you're ready for a little more advanced, you actually extend that top arm. You want to make sure your wrist is stacked on top of your shoulder. So imagine you're squished between two walls in this triangle pose, and that you're falling back into that wall. You can bend that front knee slightly, 2 more breaths. You can also imagine I'm holding onto your wrist and then I'm pulling it back to open up your chest and shoulder a little bit more. Inhale, push into that back foot, and then exhale, come back up. Excellent. We're gonna cartwheel those hands all the way down, taking that back heel off the floor. We're in this low lunge for just a moment, and then we step back to our downward facing dog. So we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. First, come forward into your plank. We'll do this little sequence each time. Exhale, we lower the knees and the chest. Elbows back. Inhale, we lift up. Nice big stretch there. Exhale, tuck the toes down and back. Downward facing dog. Hold your down dog. I'm just switching so that I can open up facing you for the other side. So down dog, you're gonna bend your knees as you inhale. Exhale, you're gonna walk. Maybe you want to jump, hop to the top of your mat. Forward fold. And then inhale, reaches those arms up. Nice big deep breath. Our palms come together and exhale. Okay, so check in. Thumbs up, are we okay? You guys are feeling warmer? We're good? All right, excellent. So let's keep moving, all right? And we'll get a chance to take a break and get some water in just a couple of moments, all right? So inhale, lift. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift, right? Pulling the shoulder blades together, flat back. Exhale, we release. Let's now step back that left foot. So same exact sequence on the other side. Step back, medium step back, warrior one. Glue that heel into the floor. When you're ready, lift your chest. Make sure you're using those core muscles. Arms come up, inhale, and exhale, hold. Warrior one. So holding this here. Keep breathing. That front knee is slightly bent. Back leg is straight. You want to imagine that you're actually tucking your hips under here to really get those lower ab muscles working. One more breath, then we get ready for triangle. So inhale, let's straighten that front leg. Exhale, those arms lower down. So triangle, other side. First, we break it down. So inhale, reach. Those hips go back in the opposite direction. And then exhale, lower that front arm. And first, reach for your knee. Okay? That back arm, we're going to take that hand to the hip. Now, I want you to open up and start to twist from your waist, your chest, and then your shoulder. And take your gaze up at the ceiling. So if you're feeling like you want a little more challenge From here, take a breath, and as you exhale, lower that front arm and then extend your hand that was on the hip. Extend that arm so that your wrist is now on top of your shoulder. So our hips stay square, but the rotation comes from our waist, our shoulders, and our chest. Keep your gaze at your hand, or wherever you're at. Imagine you're sort of falling back into that wall. Slight bend in that front knee will give you a little more stability. One more breath. Feel a big stretch and rotation through that side body with the triangle pose. Inhale, push into your back foot. Use those side oblique core muscles to pull yourself up. Exhale, release. Okay, let's cartwheel it down. Come all the way down, inhale. Low lunge there just for a moment, and then step back. Downward facing dog. So you can always take out this floor sequence for a chance to take a little breather. You can also follow along with me. Come forward to that plank. As you inhale, exhale, you lower the knees and then the chest. All the way down. Inhale, we lift for that baby cobra. Exhale, we tuck the toes. Down and back. Hold your downward facing dog. You can also add a challenge there by doing that full chaturanga lower without bringing your knees to the floor. Maybe adding an extra push-up. One more breath in your down dog or child's pose. Inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump to the top. Forward fold, take your breath. Each time we come here, I want you to sort of take note of where your fingertips, your hand, sort of where they lie on the mat. Hopefully each time we're getting a little bit closer to reaching the mat. We're getting a little more stretched out. Inhale, reach those arms up. Palms come together. Exhale. We're going to add another layer, so let's keep going. Doing great. Inhale, exhale, let it go. Just let all that bad, negative energy, stress, let it all go right there when you do that forward fold. And then inhale, we lift up for a nice flat back. Pull your shoulder blades together. Press through your heels. Exhale. Let's step back, warrior one again. Right foot, glue your heel into the floor, lift your chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hold. So hold this warrior one. We're gonna add on a warrior two after our triangle pose. Hold this here. Good. I'm also gonna move a tiny bit faster. So again, slow it down if you need to. We're just gonna ramp it up just a little bit. One more breath. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, arms come down. Triangle pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Remember, hand on that knee, hand on that hip. Take a breath, inhale. Exhale, maybe get a little bit deeper into it. And by deeper, I mean rotating open, right? Maybe that arm lifts up. Take your time. This time I'm gonna come up and look, if you have your screens turned on, to your beautiful triangle pose. It's great. Imagine you're falling back into that wall. Oh, nice. Yes, very good, Kishwar. Dan looks good. Nice, Chuck. Excellent. One more breath. Feel that twist. Inhale, push into that back foot. Woo. Exhale, release. Here's warrior two. We're gonna take those hands together. Inhale, up, exhale, lower down. Warrior two. Make sure to rotate and turn open from that right hip. So take a couple moments, find your warrior two. It's a much deeper pose. Front knee is bent, back leg is straight. Arms are up, nice and strong, right? Shoulders away from those ears. I want you to press into your back toes just as much as your front. So we have equal distribution of weight. So it's not too much in the front, too much in the back. In just a moment, we are going to adjust. We'll find extended side angle in just a moment. So hold this here, big stretch. Okay, so one more breath. Inhale, peaceful warrior first. Flip that palm and take it back. So it's really a side bend. Big side stretch. Reaching that front arm up and over and taking your gaze up at that arm. So we're starting to feel those quads, those thighs burning. Inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, hold. Okay, so right from here, watch my screen first. I'm gonna lower my forearm. I'm gonna do sort of a side bend, and I'm gonna reach that other arm up. So see how I'm making a nice diagonal line? We're gonna do that side angle. All right, so a little crunch, side crunch. You're gonna bring your rib cage to your hip, front arm balances on that front thigh, back arm reaches down and up. Take your gaze up at your elbow. And let's keep those hips low. So it's easy to keep them high like this. I want you to drop those hips. Reach through your fingertips, one more breath. Can you take your arm away and off your thigh? Ooh, yeah, that definitely works the core a little more. All right, inhale, come back to warrior two. Exhale, take your heel off the floor. Cartwheel those hands down, step back. Woo, downward facing dog. Great job. So either child's pose or inhale forward to your high plank. Exhale, lower knees and chest, or a full version. Not allowing those knees to touch the floor. Then you would go into upward facing dog or baby cobra. Exhale, back to the down dog or child's pose. All right, so one more breath. We'll do the same thing on the other side and we'll take a breather, all right? So inhale, bend those knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. Let it go. I feel my heart rate going up. That's good. Inhale, reach up. Big deep breath. Palms come together. Exhale. All right, let's keep it moving, then we'll get a break. Inhale up. Exhale, float it down. Same sequence, other side. Inhale, halfway, flat back. Pull those shoulder blades together. Exhale, lower. Great, warrior one. Left foot, step back. Glue that heel into the floor. Inhale, lift. Exhale, hold. Hold this here. Remember to tuck those hips under. Want to keep that momentum going. Keep that heat going. Building through the body. One more breath. Inhale, straighten that front leg. Exhale, arms come down. Triangle pose. Inhale, reach. Exhale. Front arm lowers down to that knee. Back arm. Take your hand to your hip and then start that rotation. So I'd rather you be right here than that arm extended and sort of all over the place. So start from the base, build from the base, work your way up. This is a little too easy. Then you can extend that arm up. Let me see it. So hold it. Want to make sure we're doing a proper form too. So a little bit of discomfort. If it's a little bit uncomfortable, it's going to challenge you. That's good, right? We don't want to be painful. All right, looking good. So imagine I'm holding onto your wrist, your elbow, and I'm pulling it back. Continue to tuck those hips under. Very nice. Good, Julianne. Let's try for one more breath. Excellent. Push into that back foot. Use those core muscles. Lift yourself. Woo, back up. Inhale. Exhale. Let's get ready for that warrior two. Hands come together. Inhale, reach up. Exhale. Find that warrior two. Take a couple moments, right? Because we want to open up from that hip first. And it's our left hip this time. So back leg is straight or as straight as you can get it. Front knee is bent. Arms are nice and strong. Shoulders away from your ears. Now this, I want you to imagine me pulling you in both directions so that you stay right in the center. Yeah? Great. Keep those hips low. One more breath. Inhale, flip that palm. Exhale, peaceful warrior. So reach that arm up and over. Take your gaze up with your hand. Challenge your balance. Big side stretch. Nice. One more breath. Inhale takes us back to that warrior two. Exhale, we do another little side bend. Okay, so these hips right here, they don't go up, they stay low. So you just take your hip, little crunch. See that? Little crunch, your rib cage to your hip. And then we take that back arm. We sweep the floor and we lift it up for extended side angle. Take your gaze up at your elbow. So the other arm is really just very lightly resting on your leg. If you need to really rest your weight on it, or maybe come up and stretch out your legs for a moment, you can do that. We're gonna be here for about 3 more breaths. All right, so hold this. Now, can you take that arm away from your leg? right? Ooh, yeah, much harder, right? You feel those core muscles start to fire. Last breath. Excellent. Inhale, come back. Woo. Exhale, let's cartwheel those hands down. Awesome job. Step it back. Down dog or child's pose. Inhale forward. Exhale. I'm gonna do the more challenging version. You lower without lowering your knees. Little tricep push up. And then inhale, you move forward and up. Upper facing dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, down dog. Hold that right there. Or child's pose. One more breath. Inhale, bend those knees. Look at the top of your mat. Exhale, hop, jump, step. Find your forward fold. Inhale, reach those arms up, big deep breath. Palms come together. And exhale, lower. Okay, so quick break, grab some water. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up, we're good? Okay, great. So we're gonna practice our balance pose. So while you're getting your water, I'm just gonna demonstrate how we're getting into it. All right, so from our extended side angle, if you have the wall, you can use it. What we're gonna try to do is lift off that back leg. We're gonna lift up a little bit and try to lift that foot off the floor like this. All right, so if you have a wall, you can use it. So what we're really going into is actually a half moon, right? This is sort of your half moon position. We're gonna use the wall. So you can be up against a wall and do it that way as well, right? Or have one right in front of you where we're here and you can reach for it to lift your leg up, okay? And maybe you're just lifting a couple inches, right? Maybe you're all the way up. But that's what we're gonna try to do. So let's get back into our spots. All right, let's shake it out. We got this, okay? Inhale, lift up. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift. You can also use your foam roller, right? And then exhale. So step that right foot back. Let's go right into warrior two. So right into a big step. Bring those arms up and hold. So we're already into this warrior two. Hold it here, nice and low. Back leg is straight. Inhale, flip your palm. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Take this back arm, wrap it around. Reach for your opposite hip. So adding on a little extra layer there too. Take your gaze up at your hand. Big side stretch. One more breath. Inhale, come back to this warrior two. Exhale, extended side angle. So remember, it's that side crunch. And then we reach that arm up. Extended side angle. Okay? We're not gonna spend too much time here or else our thighs are gonna burn out. All right? So what I want you to do is push off that back foot. All right? Take this other arm, extend it as if you're reaching for the floor. Okay? And you're gonna lift up. And if you have that wall, reach for that wall and lift your leg. If you don't have it, maybe you're reaching for your foam roller or just keeping your hand on your hip. So here I'm actually not reaching anything, really practicing my balance. All right, lift it up, hold it there, come out of it, come back into it if you fall out. We're gonna practice holding that. We're opening up our hips too, so you're stacking your hips. Lift that leg as high as you can. Standing leg is slightly bent, right? So maybe it's just a few inches here. And then maybe try to move your hands away from the wall. One more breath. We'll get to practice it again. Go ahead and step right back into that warrior two. Inhale, and then exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Woo, good job. Inhale, let's kick that leg straight up to the ceiling. So three-legged dog, kick it up. As you exhale, you're gonna bend that knee and bring it into your chest. All right, so you can lower that knee to the floor. And then inhale, kick it back up. If you want that extra challenge, stay in that down dog. Exhale, bring your knee over to your right elbow. So cross it under and reach. One more time, inhale, kick it up. I'm doing it with my knee on the floor. Exhale, bring it across to your left elbow. So core, upper body. Last one, inhale, kick it up. Exhale, lower that foot. Great job. So child's pose or the sequence. Inhale, plank. Exhale, knees and chest. I did tell you it was gonna be a little bit harder. You all are looking great. Inhale, lift. We got this. Exhale. Down dog or child's pose. Hold it. So same thing, other side, finding that wall. Maybe you have a dog crate like I do here. So whatever you can sort of hold on to for that practice, for that balance. Inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. See, now I can almost press my palms into the floor. I'm so much more stretched out than when I started. Inhale, lift, big deep breath. Exhale, palms come together. Let's keep it moving. Same thing, other side. Inhale, up. Exhale, we're almost done. Let it go. Inhale, halfway flat back. Exhale, release. So we step right back into warrior two. All right, so bigger step. Big step, open up through those hips. Bring those arms up. Warrior two. Find your strongest, your lowest point in that warrior two position, right? One more breath so don't burn out those legs. Flip that palm, inhale. Exhale, peaceful warrior. Back arm for a little extra challenge. You can wrap it around and reach for your opposite hip. Take your gaze up at your hand. One more breath. Inhale, come back to this warrior two. Exhale, we come into our extended side angle. So it is a little harder. We're going from a static pose to lifting up into a balance. Keep those hips low. All right, go ahead and slowly push off that back foot. Take your bottom arm, reach it for that wall, right? You can even lower the top arm, hand to your hip, and lift your foot off the floor. So just practicing. So I have my hand on my hip, my other hand is reaching for this dog crate. But it's helping me balance. So then lift away from the mat a little bit rather than sinking into it. Hold this here. Now, of course, if you want that extra challenge, you find an actual half moon, standing half moon. Top arm is extended. Bottom arm is reaching towards the floor. Hold it for a few more breaths. And if you fall out of it, it's okay, just get back into it, right? Just like with everything else, we gotta keep trying. We won't get it on our first try, right? So a couple more breaths. Using the wall however you need to. Nice. Point that toe. One more breath. And then go ahead and step back. Woo! Into that warrior two. Inhale. Exhale, cartwheel those hands down. Here comes that upper body and core challenge. So go ahead and kick that back leg straight up. Three-legged dog, right? I'm gonna do the version with my knee on the floor, so you can follow me through that. Exhale, bring your knee into your chest. If you want it harder, take that knee off the floor, okay? Inhale, kick back up. Exhale, wrap it across the body to that left elbow. Pull those abs in. One more time, inhale, kick up. Exhale, bring it across the body to that right elbow. Side crunch, and then inhale up. Exhale, foot comes down, down dog. Or child's pose, great job. Inhale forward to your plank. Or child's pose, right? Exhale, knees and chest. Inhale, lift. Exhale, tuck the toes, down and back, down dog, or child's pose. Great job, hold it. 2 breaths. We're almost done. Excuse me. So inhale, bend your knees. Exhale, walk or jump. Forward fold. Inhale, lift up, big deep breath. Palms come together and exhale. So one more balance pose. It will just be our warrior 3. We're gonna find this one's a little bit easier than our half moon, which is why we started with our half moon. So inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold it down. Keep it up, inhale halfway. That's the only one we're gonna practice. Exhale, lower. So big step back with your right leg into a high lunge. Big step back. Lift your arms, lift your chest. Inhale, palms come together, exhale, right? So stay right at your chest, you're gonna lean forward. You're gonna push off that back foot. Keep your hands at your chest and lift your leg off the floor. And this is it. This is our warrior 3. So we're not moving those hips. You should feel that this is You can get a little more steady in this one. You can still use the wall, right? Hold it for just a couple breaths, maybe just a few inches off the floor. I want you to flex that back heel. If you want a little extra challenge, lift your leg up higher, extend your arms in front, or maybe to the side. So one more breath, warrior three, and then inhale, step back. Awesome job. Arms reach up, exhale, take them down. This time you're just gonna bring your foot into your other foot, forward fold. We're not going through that floor sequence. Inhale, reach up, come to standing. Exhale, palms together and lower. We go right into the other side. Inhale, lift. Exhale, float it down. Inhale, halfway lift, and exhale. So big step back with your left foot. Big step back, high lunge. Lift your chest. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, palms come together. Take them at your chest. I want you to keep that back flat so we don't fold forward in our pose, in our balance, okay? Lean forward, press off that foot, and lift. So try to lift away and up from the mat, even if your leg is only a few inches from the floor, right? So hold that there. Lifting away from the mat so your chest is up. If you want a little extra challenge, you will drop your chest a little bit, but just to bring that back leg up. So tuck those hips under, one more breath, and then inhale, step it back, exhale, hands come down. All right, so mover's choice. You can find your child's pose, or you can go through your sequence one final time. Mover's choice. I'm gonna find my child's pose. So take a couple of deep breaths, finish up with that sequence. When you come back up to downward facing dog, gently lower your knees to the floor, bring those knees wide, bring your feet together, sit back into those hips, and find a nice child's pose to relax. We have just a couple minutes left. We will finish with some stretching. So slowly walk those hands up. Gently swing those legs around. Ooh, that was hard. And then slowly lower down. Gently make your way down, all the way down flat onto your mat, onto your back. And then we're gonna hug those knees into our chest. Gently rocking side to side. We'll be making little circles here. Massaging our back into the mat. Reversing directions of those circles. So let's keep those knees together. You're gonna extend those arms out to that letter T. Drop your knees over to the left. Take that hand and gently press those knees down and away. Look over the opposite shoulder for a spinal twist. Allowing that heart rate to come back down. Big deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. And slowly bring those knees back to the center. Inhale, exhale, drop them to the other side. Take one hand to push down and away and extend out through that opposite shoulder and arm for that spinal twist. And slowly come back up to the center. We'll do happy baby here as our last stretch. You're gonna bring those knees in. Arms come inside. We're gonna reach for the sides of our feet, our toes here. And just like happy, flexible babies do, they just extend those legs up. Gently rock side to side. Sort of like a massage to our lower back. So this should feel really good. And then you can just slowly bring those feet back down. And just find a relaxation pose just for a final minute here, closing your eyes, really whatever is comfortable for you. Doesn't matter what you do here. Maybe you go to your wall and lift the legs up the wall for your final pose. Maybe you get back onto your foam roller. Either way, just close your eyes, relax. And then slowly start to move your head from side to side. Nice and easy, start to move your arms and your legs. Extend your legs straight out and reach your arms all the way overhead, making yourself a little bit longer. Deep breath here. And exhale. And slowly start to open your eyes. Place your feet onto the floor. Gently roll over and press yourself up to a seated position. And we'll take one last deep breath together. Inhale, reaching those arms up. Exhale, bring those palms together, lower them down to heart center. Closing your eyes for just a moment. Thanking yourself for making the time. Making sure to give yourself a couple of days off throughout the holidays because you deserve it. Always being mindful of your body, taking care of it. And thanking one another for joining class this morning so that we can all do this practice and work out together. We'll open our eyes and we'll say namaste to one another. Great job. Thank you so much for coming. Real quick, if you didn't before, make sure to drop your site name into the chat box. Saw a couple of new people, and feedback, comments, always welcome. And this was our last class for 2020. No class next Friday for Christmas or the Friday after for the New Year's Day holiday. So take a break, enjoy your day off, and thanks so much.